So my research explores social media use in higher education, and this was my master's research completed in 2015. And am I able to do the slides? Yeah. So I did a systematic review, and I ended up with 150 studies included, which is kind of a lot for a systematic review. I'll just show my descriptive statistics here. I considered learning context, whether informal or formal or both, as well as learning environment, and whether social media was used in traditional face-to-face learning, online learning, or a blending of these. I'll just scroll through these. And then I undertook a thematic analysis exploring how social media was used and the degree of functional transformation in the learning that it enabled. And I came up with these three categories that emerged from my analysis: the administrative, process, and emergent categories. So the administrative category typically encompassed informal learning contexts, such as student support, a Facebook group, for instance. Social media would be initially substituted for face-to-face interaction, so it was low in terms of functional change at the outset, but this would change through time, which was quite interesting because it meant that it was an administrative tool being shaped by the users themselves. So though it was a highly structured tool, the structure and dialogue were mutually constitutive. The process category typically involved highly structured contexts with learners working towards a specific skill. So for instance, improving academic writing. One example was using Twitter and its 140 character limit to help students develop their skills for concise writing. And the process category, in the process category, structure contributed to the interaction and dialogue that the social media facilitated. Social media enabled tasks and dialogue that were enacted in new ways, representing a high degree of functional change in the learning. And then the emergent category encompassed typically unstructured contexts with formal and whether it was formal or informal learning. Social media use enabled learning tasks and dialogue that were previously impossible. For instance, if you think about a large lecture class with 200 students, if a Twitter back channel was used, for instance, students could ask questions, share ideas, post links, whatever, during the class and as well as outside the class, so that students were really co-creating a portion of their learning content. So this category represented a very high degree of functional change. Okay, so from this I created a model which synthesizes, so from my thematic analysis I created this model here which maps my three categories across a number of domains. So you can see that the difference in degree of learner autonomy, two-way dialogue, and role fluidity enabled by the highly structured process category is different compared to the unstructured emergent category. And from that, I went on to create this model here, which synthesizes and extends some other models and frameworks within education discourse that describe interactive relationships among learners, teachers, and content. And in this model, I tried to capture how tools, content, and users can be mutually shaping, and how learners may occupy different roles at different points in the learning processes, sometimes serving in the role of teacher themselves. And in developing this model, I also drew on concepts from ecology and anthropology, thinking not just about the relationships, but about the learner's position within these relationships. So in this model, I show the learner embedded at the center of a network of relationships. And so from my work, I also developed some best practices for matching social media choice to pedagogy and learning outcomes. But I think I've probably come to the end of my time, so I'll stop here. And I think my slides will be shared with everyone, and my full paper is also available. Yes, at that link there in AU's digital thesis repository. So thank you.